Hey guys, welcome back to Janice Budgets. This channel is about follow me on my financial, oh my gosh, I forgot my intro. Basically follow me on my financial journey to reaching financial independence. And usually I would say that this is about me budgeting in the city, but since I haven't been to the city for more than a year now, I'm now on our farm in the province. So this is basically us and me budgeting, living in the farm. So this is our income now. It is 15,000. So this is joint between Raf and I. If you haven't seen my previous videos, Raf has decided to stop working at his barista job in Cebu, and he decided to come and stay with me and work with our family business in the farm. Our income is really, really small compared to what we're used to in Cebu, and it's because I haven't been receiving my full salary. I've only been receiving a portion of it, and since Raf is still relatively new, it's not as high. So we just decided to combine our income. So that is 15,000. If you've seen my previous videos, I usually would budget 41,000, which is our combined income in the city, minus another 10,000 because that's the money that my family has been owing me every month. So I decided to just budget 31,000 usually in my previous videos, but now it's 15,000, and I don't like assume how much they owe me. Like I don't add what they owe me to my budget because this is what I need to budget at the moment. And if it's not in front of me, I don't want to budget it. I have an Excel sheet on just trying to remind myself how much they owe me, but it's not something I think about all the time now. And I understand that the pandemic has been tough for everyone, and I don't really want to be asking for extra money every month if this is, I can live through this. It's just frustrating at times because Raf and I have been saving for more than 2 years now, and the money we saved and invested, my family has borrowed, and it's taking a while for them to pay back. And it's tough because we have that allocated for investments, but they're helping us stay in the farm and providing for the electricity and Wi-Fi, so and accommodation. So I mean, that's the least we could do, but it's just hard to budget. So let me just count this first. It's supposed to be 15,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 980, 100. So this is 10,000. It's supposed to be 15,000, but for our insurance, we put it in our bank directly because it gets auto debited. So I will only be budgeting 10,000. So it's been a while. I promised, committed to myself that I would continue these cash envelope stuffing every month, but it's been a little crazy. There were some random expenses that I did not take to consideration, and then we also changed rooms, and we finally brought all our stuff from Cebu here, so we no longer have our condo there. So during the moving, I have my notebook that I always do my budget from. I think you've seen it in previous videos. I don't have it anymore. I can't find it. So I just decided to start fresh. Plus, we have different priorities now. So we usually have cash envelopes for electricity budget, for laundry budget, etc. But we no longer have any of those spendings, so now it's completely different, completely new. So this is our, yeah. What else? So I'm back, and the reason why I've decided to film, like I could just stop, I could just not film anymore, just go on with my life and just do cash envelopes alone. but I have recently been applying and implementing more of the Stoic mindset in my life, because there's a lot of things that I don't know how to react. There's no, like, I want a manual in my life where it's like, okay, there's a difficult person here. How do you approach them? How do you react to them? Because I feel that my mental state when dealing with things isn't that good. So I decided to focus more on habits and grow that growth mindset, like and doing this every month. It makes me practice more, and once I practice more I get used to it, and then I'm more confident with it. So I'm trying to implement more of that in my mindset and my lifestyle. I've created good habits now that I've been doing for a while, and I've been better with my time management, and just being an all around balanced person. So since I've time blocked my calendar, I've made a habit list and everything, I feel like I'm not as overwhelmed anymore. I'm not as burnt out, and I have more time to do things now. And I'll, I have now recently said no to most things. If it doesn't reach my end goal in the future, I don't want to deal with it, you know. So Raf and I, we've been talking recently about what we want in the future and what our goals are. And I think making videos like this and just holding myself accountable to my spendings and everything really helps with that goal. I won't talk more about those goals yet, maybe in future videos, but I'm really excited, and it's something that I've always had at the back of my mind, but now it's more concrete. Okay, so enough of that talking. So we put 3,000 per month on emergency fund. So actually, this is the first month. It's timing, because once I got my life like straight, it was May 1. So I was like, okay, this is a perfect time to start all over. This is a new month. I don't need to start a new year. I could just start here. So insurance, we have 5,000, but it's already in our bank, so it gets auto debited. And that's so much better, because the bank is like 30 minutes away, and Raf and I doesn't know how to drive a motorbike, and usually the car isn't available. We would bike often, but it's been raining frequently every day, and we don't want to get stuck and have to come back at night, and it would usually take 3 hours back and forth, and that's a lot of time out of work that I don't really want to take out of. So going to the bank is really difficult. If my mom goes to the city or the next town, I would ask her to do it for me, but otherwise I would prefer to just have it in the bank in terms of my insurance. So what's next? Emergency fund. So I just want to show you. I actually haven't prepared properly ahead of time, but I just wanted to show you like the reality of it. So Bunny, BCP, and Netflix in my budget, I've had this like constantly for the past few months. So these are my budget envelopes before in 2019. So I had a food budget, I had a gifts budget, I had accessories, I had a gym budget, and like a wedding budget for my friend's wedding. I was preparing for it. This is another BCP, another Netflix. So I can reuse these envelopes since I already have those envelopes. So it's so weird how my life has changed in 2019. When I was looking at my Excel sheet of what I spent in 2019, it was so different. Like what my priorities back then was so different. But it's really good to see the transition, because in 2019, that's when we decided, you know what, let's start tracking our budget. Let's start, you know, being frugal, or like prioritizing and valuing what we buy. So back then I was still sort of high maintenance. I would have a budget for clothes, I would have a budget for accessories, and all those things. But now I don't have any budget. I don't have any space from my income for that, because I'm valuing different things now. So this was for my friend's wedding, but then it didn't push through because of the pandemic, so I put it aside. For gym, I don't have anything for gym, but because I was planning to sign up for a gym just to make it easier for me to lose weight. And I think my mindset before was like, okay, you know what? I gotta lose weight. I gotta do 2 hours, 3 hours of classes and gym and like weights and cardio every day so I could lose weight. But I think that mindset was really bad and it wasn't good for me. So what I've been doing in the farm, since like there is no proper gym nearby, and YouTube has a lot of workouts and everything, Rafa and I have been doing the body project videos almost every day, and it's really useful for us because we only do like 30 minutes, like one session a day, and that's it, you know? So it doesn't feel like we're really tired that we want to sleep through the whole day. It's like something that's sustainable, that is more in the long run. So I have a fitness budget. I don't have, it's not for a gym, but it's more on fitness equipment, and like I need new sports bras because since we're doing it every day, might as well have it, and we don't laundry as often anymore, so I need more sports bras. I would also be hoping to buy a yoga mat soon. There are cheap ones online, but they are not as good quality, so I'm planning to buy something that's 2000 plus, but it's not in the budget yet. But in the future, this is something I'm looking forward to getting. Okay, I'll put that fitness. Didn't I say I needed an emergency fund? You know, I could use this as an emergency fund. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. The pandemic has been tough for everyone. Our business is getting by, just taking one day at a time. Even though my salary is smaller than it used to be, I feel like I'm working 3 times as much. And maybe because there's nowhere else to go, you know, in the farm. There's nowhere else to go in my town. So it's like there's nothing else for me to do but to work. And my Janus Arts and Luz Visminda Crafts, that side project that I was, where's the scissors? I'll just tear it. The side income that I was doing for a while, I decided to stop it because it's not sustainable if I'm not in the city, and it's hard for me to deliver those products. But I'm finding a way to do it. I'm hopefully gonna try Shopee soon, posting the products online, but I just need to set it aside in my calendar to focus on that side business. Even though it was doing okay, during the pandemic, it's not an essential item, so it's not something people buy and have extra money for. So I don't think it was going to do well during the pandemic, so I put a temporary stop on it. But maybe in the future I can get back to it. But right now I have some other projects that I'm thinking of doing, so at least like my mind's still thinking about what other side projects I should be doing. And it's good practice for me in the future. If I want to start my own company, at least I have an understanding of my own. Even though I'm working with a family business, the problem is the allocation of the funds, the allocation of money that we're receiving and using to invest. My dad is still the one deciding where to invest and what to invest in. So if you have your own company, everything will be ground zero for you. So it's an exciting prospect, but tough. And I also need a proper market, a proper idea. So that's something I'm trying to build up to. So I'm sorry if I keep talking because it's been a while since I talked online. So I'm gonna put 3,000 here. Then I have a sheet that I'm gonna write. So this salary is my May salary. Yeah, my sister is the finance head, but she doesn't give my salary on time. So even though she hasn't given me my salary for April yet, so for May yet, sorry. She hasn't given me for May yet, so I'm using my money that I have from my investments to budget for this. So once she deposits the money, that's for the next month. Okay, so I'm gonna put 3,000 in. Usually for emergency fund, we don't touch it, but this month we are buying a espresso machine to start up for our gazebo cafe here in the farm. And we bought it from a friend. We have a good enough amount, 12,000 to pay, but it cost 18. So for 2 months, it's coming from Australia. So he sold it to us for 18,000 and we have 12,000 so far. So this emergency fund is sort of saving up for that. I know I shouldn't be touching it because it's COVID and everything. We don't know the future of the company, but I feel like that's a proper investment for us. So next, since I have the emergency fund 3,000, insurance done, it's online, home miscellaneous. So I don't have this. Maybe I'll just use the gifts budget. So for home miscellaneous, when we were living in the city, we had like 5,000 pesos budget for groceries and like 2,000 I think on home accessories like lights, maintenance of our appliances. But here, living in the farm, living with my parents, everything's paid for. Sometimes my mom would give us tons of shampoo and soap and toiletries, everything, so we don't need to budget for it. But sometimes I feel guilty that we get everything. So if there's something really important for us, I don't want to be like, can I have this, can I have that? I'll only wait until she gives it, but I'll just put this aside just in case. So 420. So yeah, I'll put this here. Then I have this pad. So May, in and out. In is 420, 420. So that I can track it. Okay, perfect. So that's the home fund. And bunnies. So our bunny budget before was 1,000 because we had a lot of bunnies. But moving to the farm, Snowberry is no longer with us. So our bunny budget decreased also because there's fresh vegetables and stuff outside for them to chew on. So we don't really need to buy anything. And it's really tough because I don't know if there is a vet, a bunny exotic pet vet here. So even if they're sick or something, it's really hard for them to get help. Netflix, still needing Netflix. This is our savior during the pandemic. This is our, because Raf and I are homebodies, and Netflix is something that we really enjoy. Even when we're watching a body project video, like we don't feel like we're working out because we're just watching Netflix whilst working out. May. In is 220. So we split to the Netflix. Okay, that's done. BCP. So before, my birth control budget was like nearly 500 every month because I used to take a different brand. But then my sister showed me a brand that was really cheap, and so I decided to swap, not because I wanted to, but because I was fine, like my body was getting used to the old birth control, but I didn't want to spend 400 plus on birth control, so I decided to take the risk for a cheaper one. The transition was okay. The side effects, it makes me more emotional and whatever, but it's still working, so it still does the same thing, so I wouldn't mind. So that's all 9,000. So at the end of the month, Raf and I gets 3,000 each. So I'll give this to Raf. He prefers bigger bills so that he feels like he doesn't want to spend anything. So I'm gonna give him all these 1,000 bills. I prefer smaller bills. So Raf gets 3,000. So it's up to him to spend his money on whatever he wants to. For me, I decided to budget it even more, just so that I have some little bit of savings for different topics, different priorities. So for me, I will get 2,000. So this should be 2,000. So 1,500. Did I do this again? What did I do wrong? Emergency fund, home miss, insurance. Did I do something wrong? I always do this. You guys know I always do this. That was 10,000, right? So I put insurance, nothing, 3,000, home misc, home, wrap 3,000. Oh, shoot. You know what? I thought I was gonna get 2,000, but it's 3,000. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this 10,000, 2,500. So this should be 3,000. Why do I have this extra? Did I put... I should not be multitasking, honestly. This should be 660. Oh, I forgot to put this there. My bad, my bad. Okay, we got it. We got it under control. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So this is all 3,000. My gosh, that scared me a little. I'm getting rusty at this. Because in my previous videos, I would budget once a week. Because Raf would have his salary twice a month and I'd get mine every week. Or I think once a month. I forgot now. So I would budget it every week, but now I only budget once a month just because we have lower income and I don't want to be budgeting coins and smaller bills. So this is it. So I decided to put 2,000 on my food budget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to start blogging, writing a blog about the food areas here in Zamboanga del Sur. I don't think it's as well known and advertised. There's a lot of good places to eat, but that's the thing. We don't... there's another one. And it's something that I'm looking forward to, like in the long term. So I'm thinking of having 500 pesos a week to budget on food. Plus, there's nothing else to buy besides food here. So, I mean, and that's the thing that makes me happy, the food. So that's my budget for food, 2,000. Fitness is 200. So, I'm looking forward to getting the mat. I've heard the yoga mat. I've heard a lot of things about it and I really want to do it, but I'm gonna have to wait 10 months if I budget 200 per month, which is fine. I can make do with what I have. It's not an essential thing, but it would be nice to have it. So I put 200. Okay. And next I have a self-care budget. So I'm gonna use this accessories for self-care. I don't like putting on makeup. I don't like, all the morning face routine, nighttime routine thing. Once I wake up, I wash my face. I shower with just shampoo and a conditioner and body soap. And then at night, I just wash with water. I don't have facial soap or whatever. But I am planning for the future to be more presentable. It's really hard because in the farm, you sweat every time. Like if I wear makeup or whatever, I'm gonna sweat everything off and it will just look cakey and yucky. So I don't want to invest a lot on that, then have it just all like washed out. So I'm thinking of but I'm thinking of more of self-care products in the future, like yeah, just have like everyday no makeup look, just to make it look more presentable. Plus I'm getting older. I don't want to look like I have eye bags with everything. And I just want to respect the people around me by being more presentable. I don't have to have like things in my face that I don't like. Me in total, but I think that's gonna be a while. So self-care is also including haircuts. So I have had my first haircut in more than a year. It's so short. My hair is always like below my shoulder length, but this one is like just shoulder length and I look so young. I look so different, but it's a different look. At least it'll take me a while for the hair to grow back out and then for me to go back to the hair salon. But it feels nice. Actually, my hair feels healthier now. It's not as thin. My hair was super thin and my hair would always get stuck in the toilet. But now it's like more easy to, move around. Plus it's summer, so it's like super hot. At least the hair is more controlled. So self-care gifts. So I'm sorry for my gifts. I don't have a huge budget. My mistake last year for Christmas was like I just felt like, you know, we needed to treat everyone. So I spent a lot on gifts and I didn't have a budget for it. So now I have a budget for gifts. I have a feeling that, you know, it's really hard to find gifts here unless you have to Shopee it. And I don't really want a Shopee thing. So I think for gifts, if anyone invites us to a birthday or something like that, I would just give them a cake. So I think that's so much better. Giving a cake in 200. So the next birthday, Ralph's birthday, was a few days ago. It was really nice. We had a seafood boodle. Did I put money now? Yeah, so I have a seafood boodle. The next birthday is my mom's in July, so I have a little bit of time to save up for it. But then after July, my dad's and my sister's birthday, like September, October, then Christmas, I won't have time to budget, so at least I need to start doing it now. And gadgets, I'm thinking of buying a speaker, like a good quality speaker. Also, I need to save for my phone just in case. I've been dropping my phone often and the screen is a little cracked. So one, two. So I'm thinking of saving up for another phone just in case, but I know it's gonna be a while. That's what I know. I know it's gonna be a while to, should I use this? Do I have this already? No. It's gonna be a while until I budget for a phone, because my phone right now is like 20,000 and I'm gonna have to, how much? 20,000 divided by 200, that's 10. 100. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to save 100 months for a new phone. Hopefully my income will increase in the future, but I feel good knowing that like my income is pretty low, but then I'm still working hard, if not harder than I used to. But I guess it just builds more that kugihan hard work mentality, and I get to understand more of my company without looking for the salary aspect. Like I'm more hands-on, understand my it just makes me feel like I should work harder, you know. And I don't want my parents to give me everything. I just want to actually put effort on charity. So I'm also part of a youth organization here, and we have a lot of projects that we want to do. Problem is COVID is really getting closer to home nowadays. There's a lot of people that I know in the town that's getting COVID, or know people who are getting COVID. For the past year, we were able to dodge it, but like the past month, 2 months ago, they opened up. They were more lenient with the restrictions, so it's closer now, and so we can't have those youth projects. But I'm just gonna save up just in case there's anything in the future. And the charity is also random acts of kindness. So Ralph always gets mad at me because I always pay for things for other people, even though I shouldn't be doing it, but like I just feel like I should, you know. I just like seeing people's faces light up, and I really want to be like Mr. Beast in the Philippines, if that's, but not run for politics. So that's it. I used up all my cash. I will be putting this. So this one used to be just everything inside here, but it's better to just separate them, and then I won't be able to spend money from charity if I'm gonna go out, or gadgets or whatever. So I'm going back to my old ways, and yeah. So I'm gonna put this in my drawer and some of them in my bag. And this one I'm gonna be putting aside in my drawer so we don't touch it. For the BCP, I don't buy it every month. We go to the pharmacy and then I build up a few months worth of BCP money. I just buy all of it at once, just so it saves me the trouble. I guess that's it. And I also want to show you a video in the future about how I used to budget and how I budget now. So I'm really proud of Raf and I for getting this habit of budgeting and being more aware about our money. If we didn't start a few years ago, we would not be very smart with our money and our investments. Raf is very into the stock market and crypto and all those things. I would want to be, but I'm focused on work and other things, so it's not something of a priority for me right now. But it's nice that he's really into it, and then we are very smart with our money, and we have a lot of things that we plan in the future that if we that we didn't realize was something, like a few years ago I never thought that we'd be in the stock market. And I thought, like, back in 2019, I'm like, 2021, if you budget every week, every month, you're gonna be able to save enough for the stock market. I never thought of it like that, and now it's actually happening. So I think the fact that we're doing smart habits, successful habits every day, just small things that makes us used to living our life better and being able to manage our time and our energy better. I think that's really important, and I'm proud that we were able to reach this far, and I'm excited for what we have in store in the future for us. So I think that's it. It's already 30 minutes, and yeah, I'm gonna get back to work now. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Um, there was a video of mine last year that reached 1,400 views, and I was just so surprised because the last time I checked up on it was just a few hundred views, but now it reached 1,000. So, like, thank you for the support and thank you for watching. I don't know what I'm doing right. I use this as basis for me in the future, but if you're enjoying what you're watching, I'm gonna continue to do it. So thank you, and